My name is Richard Heighway. I'm the Vice Principal at the Gateway Academy. My main roles are day-to-day looking after the school. My main remit is looking after assessment, so all of the things around the attainment and progress of the students, maximising their potential, ensuring that they're in the right classes, obtaining the right support, looking at the performance management of staff and students at the same time to ensure that they maximise their potential into the future. What motivates me, and it almost sounds a cliche, is knowing that what you're doing makes a difference. And I think that there's no point in being education if that's not what you feel. It's not a job that you can leave at home. The reality is you're constantly planning, you're constantly on emails, you're constantly checking. The best parts are results day and performance management days, and at the end of a lesson when everything's gone brilliantly and the kids are leaving on a Friday afternoon with smiles on their faces. There's a lot more ups than there are downs. Some of the downs can be very difficult, but again, that's part of what we do. No day is the same. You can come in with a list of 5 things to do and leave with a list of 10 things and still not have touched the 5 that you've really done and been busy all day. And as much as that brings on its own stresses, that's the love of the job. I studied in Aberdeen, and as a standard 21-year-old didn't have any idea what I wanted to do. So I followed the route that had paid me through university, which was working in nightclubs and bars. I was offered a position as a trainee manager with a club that was just opening up, which I snapped my arm off. I was 21 years old. I was more than ready to leave education. I'd turned down 2 offers of PhDs working in research medicine, wanted to earn some money and wanted to see the world a little bit. So yeah, I became a nightclub manager. But I've always felt there's more to life. I bumped into a colleague in one of the clubs that I worked in, that I'd worked previously as a 16-year-old as a trolley wally in a local supermarket, and she'd just recently become a teacher. Got me in contact with someone at the school, and I entered onto what's called the graduate trainee program. Then 12 years later, I'm vice principal at this school. You know, I did very well in my first 2 years at secondary school. Top of the year in this, top of the year in that, mainly in sciences. We don't talk about languages. I spent my 3rd year doing everything I possibly could to not be that person and to be popular. Probably wasn't the brightest thing I've ever done. You know, I talk too much. If there was a clever comment to be made, I'd probably make it. It was really when I got to my degree that I found my feet. At university, found things that really made me tick. I left with my degree in zoology, with a specialisation in parasitology, which is kind of research medicine. It qualified me to then be a science teacher. There's no doubt my grandfather shaped me a lot. That thirst for knowledge was what really inspired me. You know, I don't know was never good enough. I'll find out was more likely what he'd come up with. In terms of advice for people to go into teaching, make sure that you've read around it. You know, don't listen to the hype of the long holidays and the short days, because they don't exist. And anybody who's been in and around teaching with any degree of sensibility is going to know that. It's the most rewarding job, but also a very difficult job. It doesn't start on great pay, but you put the miles in, and the pay certainly isn't terrible. I would also say, always keep the students in mind.